Hello, it's Phil and Heather, and we are at the parking lot, the tiny parking lot for Sunset Rock on Lookout Mountain. I've never been here. I've lived in the greater Chattanooga area all my life, and I've never been here. Heather, you've been here?
One time.
One time. So anyway, it's like 1/10 of a mile to hike to this thing, and I'm glad we got here early because the tiny parking area is completely full. As a matter of fact, we had to wait on this little 25-mile-an-hour road for a little while someone backed out. And apparently sometimes people park on this road, and if you do park on this road, then your car will get booted according to that sign. So anyway, let's go see Sunset Rock. This is what the 1/10 of a mile path to Sunset Rock looks like. If you struggle with steps, this is not the path for you, even though the path itself is short. While we were there, we saw several photographers with phones, but there were a couple of professional photographers there, and one very professional photographer was making photographs of a couple from Atlanta. That's Moccasin Bend in the distance. With that in mind, I decided to experiment with the new Nikon Z6 Eye Detection Autofocus, and I made some portraits of Heather, and I thought they came out really well. I didn't think that the eye autofocus was going to be something that I would actually use. I thought it might be kind of a gimmick, and I would probably just use single point and put the point where I wanted my subject's eye to be, but it worked so well that I didn't have a desire to switch. I just kept it in eye autofocus, and I made these shots, and the camera put the focus point right on Heather's eye, and I was able to make these portraits, and I was really pleased with them. And that is a really good spot to do portraits. It has great light in the evening. Okay, so this is the Sunset Rock composition with the tree, the sun's going down, the mountains in the distance. This place is popular. It's full of people. I'm shooting at f11 ISO 100, and I'll let the amount of light determine my shutter speed. Sun's still setting. We're starting to get a little bit of color. Probably 10 minutes until sunset. I've made several different exposures and brackets and all sorts of things. Maybe one of them will be worth using. I've been focusing on the tree this whole time, and you can see that's pretty close to infinity, even though the tree's only about 15 feet away. So the sunset that night wasn't really that great, but I did kind of a wild edit, and I ended up liking it. You may find this edit to be a little over-processed, and I guess it probably is, but it looked way better than any other way. For all the stills in today's video, I used the Nikon Z6, the FTZ adapter, and the Nikkor 24-70 f2.8G non-VR. I used it for the eye autofocus testing with some portraiture of Heather, and I used it for the sunset photos and landscape shots. This is a great combination, and this lens was the first lens I put on my Z6 when I brought it home at the end of last year. Well, sunset has come and gone, and we played around with some sunset photography here at Sunset Rock, and I even did some eye autofocus testing with some portraits of Heather. So we're going to try to hike back up that steep rocky path to the parking lot and hope the car doesn't have a parking boot.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
You should come back and try this top road.